weren't stupid. They weren't careless. They just trusted. Trust is one of the most fundamental shortcuts in the human brain. It's a mechanism that saves us enormous amounts of time and mental energy. It feels safe. It feels right. But in the wrong hands, that same feeling of safety, that same shortcut, becomes a weapon. History is absolutely littered with examples of leaders, experts, and authority figures who were deeply trusted and blindly followed, often to disastrous ends. It's a pattern that repeats itself over and over again. So, how does this happen? What is the mechanism behind this misplaced trust? People have a natural tendency to trust those who sound confident. We are drawn to individuals who appear certain, who speak with an unwavering conviction. We gravitate towards those who claim authority, who project an image of knowing exactly what they're doing. Our brains make a critical mistake. They confuse confidence for competence. Just because someone sounds sure of themselves doesn't mean they're correct. Familiar faces start to feel safe, even if we don't truly know them. Strong, assertive voices sound reliable and dependable. This is a cognitive bias, a glitch in our mental software. When this happens, we start to ignore the warning signs. Those little red flags that might otherwise make us pause are dismissed. Any doubts that bubble up in our minds are quickly silenced. Trust takes over the driver's seat, and reason gets pushed to the back. It's not a conscious choice. It's an automatic, almost primal response. We see someone who fits our mental model of a trustworthy person. Maybe they look the part, sound the part, or have the right titles, and our brain's defenses go down. We want to believe them because believing is easier than doubting. Doubting requires work. It requires critical thinking. And it creates a feeling of uncertainty that most of us find uncomfortable. So, we choose the path of least resistance. We trust. Now, here's where it gets truly shocking. Once that trust is established, people will often defend the very individuals who are deceiving them. They will find ways to excuse blatant lies. They will rationalize harmful actions. It's not because they are unintelligent or blind to the truth. It's because admitting the truth, admitting that their trust was misplaced, feels far too costly. The psychological pain of breaking that bond of trust often hurts more than the pain of being wrong or even being harmed. To accept that you were fooled is to accept a vulnerability in yourself, a flaw in your judgment. It shakes the foundation of your worldview. So, instead of confronting that painful reality, the mind builds walls to protect the initial decision to trust. It's a defense mechanism. People will double down, convinced that their initial judgment must have been right, and that any evidence to the contrary is just a misunderstanding, or perhaps even a conspiracy from outsiders trying to tear down someone good. This is why you see people stick by disgraced leaders or fraudulent experts, even when the evidence against them is overwhelming. The emotional investment is simply too high to walk away. Psychology has a name for this phenomenon. It's called trust bias, or sometimes commitment bias. Once we give our trust to someone, our brain actively works to protect that decision. It's like our mind becomes a lawyer for our past self, arguing to prove that the original choice was the right one. Evidence that contradicts our belief gets filtered out or downplayed. Criticism of the person we trust doesn't feel like a valid critique. It feels like a personal attack on us, on our judgment, on our identity. The mind, in these moments, will almost always choose the comfort of consistency over the discomfort of the hard truth. It's a powerful force that keeps us locked in, even when logic is screaming at us to get out. It's a survival instinct gone wrong in our complex modern world. This is precisely why cults form and thrive. It's why sophisticated scams succeed, even with smart, educated people. And it's why entire populations sometimes follow the wrong leaders down a very dark path. Trust is one of the most powerful forces that binds human society together. It's essential for cooperation, for love, for progress. But blind trust, unquestioning trust, is incredibly dangerous. It leaves us vulnerable to manipulation and exploitation. So the real question isn't whether you should trust. The real question you should be asking yourself is, who do you trust? And why? Thinking about that is the first step toward protecting yourself. Thanks for watching. This was The Human File. If you're as curious about people as we are, make sure to subscribe and join our community. Thanks for watching.